Economists this morning highlighting a successful budget will help ease the existing market uncertainty over our fiscal path. Our business anchor Tumisang and Ndlovu joining us now from Cape Town as part of the preparations ahead of Budget 3.0. Tumisang, good morning to you. What's the market expecting this time around?
A very good morning to you, Steve. And essentially what the markets are looking for is certainty. And we know from the likes of rating agencies, there's been that long-standing warning about the effects of a longevity when it comes to this uncertainty that's been created by the unprecedented level of dynamics when it comes to this budget for 2025. Third time lucky is what many are hoping for. But I am joined by Lindile, who is an investment strategist at ABSA, Lindile Malgas, who's with us right here at the Cape Town International Convention Center. Thank you so much for your time, Lindile. But essentially, markets at this point, what are they looking like in terms of anticipation leading up to Budget 3.0?
Yes, so definitely markets are looking for a bit more certainty. We are seeing the Rand trading below the 18 Rand mark, so markets certainly looking a bit optimistic about this budget and hoping that it will be passed. And if you're looking at the local markets in general, the all share did close a bit higher yesterday, but you are seeing more of the domestic-facing sectors such as financials and the industrials, those closing a bit lower. So a bit of questions around the local economy and its growth prospects as well.
When it comes to the certainty that is sought by domestic as well as global markets, what are we looking for here in terms of where investors want to see this balance being created between a fiscal framework and the politics around the entire matter?
Yeah, so I think the politics will certainly drive the narrative for investors because they will be looking for policy certainty. And as you've seen so far, that hasn't been the case with the third retabling of the budget. So certainly investors will be looking to get a bit more color on what the direction is going forward. And that certainly will drive a bit of optimism within markets as well.
A bit of color, you say. Where's space for fiscal prudence? Because it is a necessity, given that the VAT hike proposal is now completely off the table.
Yes, so we think it will be a really challenging one to balance in this regard because you are seeing that the VAT was reversed and there are very few places where the government can gather additional revenue. Such can be the contingency reserve account. However, we're not sure about whether or not the Treasury will bring that forward. And then the other one will be on expenditure, some of the provisional allocations that we had seen being tabled from an infrastructure point of view. So we may see them scaling back on some of that, but ultimately that is also not good for the economy as you need some of the investments into infrastructure to continue growing the economy as well and some of the industries.
Let's talk more about the capabilities of this reserve account. And of course, it is one that needs backing and support from the likes of the Reserve Bank. What is that balance looking like in terms of a fiscal purse that can be a vehicle for South Africa to at least stay afloat?
Yes, so it is available. We have seen government using it before and it has been winded down currently. And we have seen a boost within that reserve account, mainly coming from a stronger gold price. As you've seen, gold prices have remained quite elevated and that also being boosted by a weaker Rand. So that has ultimately lifted the coffers, as you may say, and then you may see the government tapping into that. However, it is quite subject to valuations, as we've seen quite a lot of volatility within markets, both from a currency and a commodity point of view.
Let's also go back to the effect of a budget uncertainty that we've had months into a new fiscal year. What has that been and what does it mean for South Africa to stand on its ground once again and foster the confidence that the global investors are looking for?
Yes, so I certainly think confidence is important for markets because when businesses are confident, they are able to expand their operations, they are able to invest into new operations as well. And as a result, you are seeing that that hasn't had an impact on investment confidence. If you're looking at some of the manufacturing indices and some of the sub-indices within that on a confidence point of view, businesses not really being confident and a lot of it stemming from policy uncertainty as well. So that does really affect business and private sector investment growth, and as a result of that, ultimately affecting economic growth as well.
Lastly, what does the market not want to see with the third time lucky of a budget?
Yes, so I certainly think that markets want to see today's budget being passed through, and a lot more certainty around the stability of the government of national unity, as we did see that it did spark a lot of optimism last year following some of the election outcomes. We saw a strong rally within our local markets. The rand also became a bit strong, so markets are certainly looking for a bit more direction and a bit more positive news, particularly on the backdrop of an uncertain global economic backdrop as well. So you are seeing that weighing on sentiment. Have seen downward revisions to forecasts as well. So we also think that may be a bit more of a challenge from a revenue point of view, because we do expect Treasury to revise their forecasts a bit lower.
Thank you so much for your input, direction, and certainty is what the call has been as we lead up to Budget 3.0. Stephen, we wait and see. It's still quite early in the day, but come 2 p.m., we expect National Treasury to give us yet another revised budget and fiscal framework for the country.